For a long time, being the quiet kid was treated like a problem to fix. Teachers called on you more than others. But what if nothing was missing? What if your quietness wasn't a weakness, but a different kind of power? Psychology shows that traits we label as quiet, reserved, or introverted often come with hidden cognitive and emotional strengths. The first power is deep observation. When you're not constantly speaking, you're constantly noticing. While others are focused on what they'll say next, you're scanning the room. That kind of awareness builds emotional intelligence. Your silence gave you space to study human behavior. Over time, that makes you socially strategic, not manipulative, but perceptive. And when you do speak, it tends to matter more. The second power is self-reflection. In simple terms, you don't just feel things, you analyze them. When something embarrassing happened, you replayed it. That can feel heavy at times, but it also builds self-awareness. Self-awareness is one of the strongest predictors of personal growth. You're less likely to be swept away by peer pressure because you've already had internal conversations about who you are and what you believe. Being the quiet kid often means you developed an inner world early on, and that inner world becomes your anchor. The third power is emotional independence. When you're not constantly at the center of social circles, you learn how to sit with yourself. Research indicates that individuals comfortable with solitude often show higher levels of emotional regulation. As the quiet kid, you might have spent recess alone sometimes, and while that may have felt lonely at times, it also trained you to tolerate discomfort. You learned that silence doesn't equal danger. Over time, this builds resilience. As an adult, this might show up as the ability to work independently. You're not easily pressured by noise because you've always known how to exist without it. The fourth power is thoughtful communication. You may not speak often, but when you do, it's usually considered. Your silence created space for others to fill. Being quiet doesn't mean you lack confidence. Many effective leaders are not the loudest in the room. You built a strong internal compass instead of relying only on external approval. That's not a flaw. That's structure. You might have been misunderstood. You might have felt invisible. But those challenges do not cancel out your strengths. They coexist with them. The very trait that made you feel different is the same trait that sets you apart in powerful ways later in life. There was nothing wrong with that child. They were building something. They were learning to observe, to reflect, to regulate, to communicate with care. In a loud world, being quiet is not a deficiency. It's a different strategy. You don't have to shrink it anymore. You can own it. Because sometimes the qualities you were told to change are the very ones that make you powerful.